So I've talked about Palantir on this channel quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. However, today's video is a little bit different and even more exciting as the S&P ETF inclusion is on the horizon. Hey guys, Corey here. Welcome to the channel. Be sure to subscribe and tap the bell if you guys are stopping in for the first time and enjoy the content. And be sure to give me a thumbs up as it greatly helps the channel grow. High five to everybody in my community who is taking all my trades and making juicy premium. We've made bank on Robinhood, Hims, Palantir, SoFi, Neo, Rivian, and the list goes on and on. If you guys want to sign up for the free newsletter, you can do so. The link is right there on the screen and in the information box below. The first 100 people to sign up to the newsletter are not only going to get the tips, strategies, and news delivered right to your mailbox, but you're also going to get free trade alerts. So go ahead and sign up for the free newsletter. So if you guys want to get in on my full course in Discord, limited slots available, be sure to sign up for the newsletter. And when you get the auto response confirming that you've been accepted to the newsletter, respond to that, letting me know that you definitely want to reserve your spot in the course, or email me at Corey@investwithcorey.com. This course is going to segment everything that I know in the market, start to finish. I'm going to teach you from the ground up how to build your portfolio and how to become profitable. And if you're having issues in the market, we're going to fix all of that. So be sure to check it out. Let's get right into the video here. And that is Palantir getting included into the S&P 500. I just want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. However, I'm here to provide you guys with tips, strategies, technicals, fundamentals, financials, and teach you guys how to become profitable in the market. However, it's ultimately up to you to decide which stocks you want to buy and how much of a position size you want to hold in that stock, as it's your money. Palantir started their IPO and was issued on the stock market in 2020. They have since become profitable, grown exponentially, and they've grown their market cap to 53 billion. In order to be included in the S&P index, you have to be profitable, and it also includes the largest top 500 companies in the United States. Palantir has been profitable and reported 3 consecutive quarters in a row, and they're also the 355th largest company in the United States, making them eligible for quite some time to be included into the S&P index. So why hasn't that happened yet? Well, the S&P index also requires the TTM, or trailing 12 month, to be positive in earnings as well, which Palantir is. Up until recently, Palantir wasn't profitable, but now they are. The selectors are making sure that this isn't an anomaly, that Palantir can continue to be profitable, with their consumer business picking up and almost completely being 50-50 with the government side of the business. As you guys can see from the chart on the screen, their exponential growth is insane, nothing short of brilliant. Soaring revenue shows that continued profitability is highly likely. Palantir is valued at 53 billion, and they're still in the early stages of its life. What I want to explain to you guys is that the inclusion everybody was thinking was most likely to happen in the previous rebalance, which was in March. However, they needed to see that Palantir was continuing profitability and growing first. There's a lot of other things that goes into this. So I just want to clear it up for you guys so you're not worried or confused on Palantir going to the S&P index. It is very likely that this is happening in June because of their 3 consecutive quarters beating the estimates and growing exponentially the way they are. However, there is a very slight chance that this inclusion will not happen until September. And the reason I say this is because sometimes things get a little weird during summer, and the way the stock market usually goes in the summer and things trail off like they did last year, it's hard to say exactly. There's also the possibility that the selectors for the ETF may not want to include Palantir until they see one more earnings beating the estimate. I give Palantir an 80-20 favor to being included in June's rebalance, but there is about a 20% chance it could be delayed until September. So for anybody wondering if Palantir is a stock worth holding, well, here is what I'm going to say, and I'm going to try to make this as short and as sweet possibly can. Palantir is a buy. And the reason it's a buy is because Palantir is almost 100% getting included in S&P 500. It's almost surely to happen. The question is it happening next month or is it happening in September? This is the key. But this year it's happening, and it's highly likely that it's happening in June. And if it doesn't, it will be September almost 100%, especially if the earnings, if they at least meet the earnings, then it would be in September. If they miss the earnings, that could pose a slight problem. However, it is highly unlikely. If you guys are wondering what happens and how this works, I'll explain it for you. When Palantir is added to the SPY, the sponsor bundles the shares into the ETF and delivers them to the AP, which is the asset picker. Palantir's liquidity and its stock price will go up and probably surge due to a heavily increased demand. When Palantir is added to the S&P index, all funds tracking the index must rebalance, selling old shares and buying the new ones, which means Palantir is going to get bought up pretty quickly. When stocks are added to the S&P index, it's known as the S&P or the SPY phenomenon. Prices go up pretty drastically a lot of the time, and they settle at a higher price due to the demand, and the liquidity also goes up. Institutional investors widely track the index. Funds that follow and track the index buy the stock, and this buying surge puts an upward pressure and momentum on the stock as well. So when it's included into the S&P index, the price is surely to go up. Once it's announced that they're getting included, which will happen beforehand, stock price will start to go up, and once it's rebalanced and included in the S&P index, it is going to go up a big amount. Like I said in previous videos, I anticipate that Palantir will probably go up around the $23 to $25 mark or even higher before it's even included. That's just on the announcement, maybe even higher than that. Once they're included into the S&P and it's final and everything's done, this summer we're going to see stock prices on Palantir most likely between $25 and $30 a share, and it could be higher. One thing that I can tell you almost for sure is that it's highly unlikely Palantir will fall below $20 or even $21 or $22 if they're included in the S&P index and their next earnings is a meet or beat. If they beat the earnings and they go into the S&P index, you might as well forget about getting this stock under $22 because that's not going to happen. I am very happy that I put $20,000 into Palantir and then most recently doubled down on Palantir because this is going to be a very strong play. Throw the book out the window. Rules are out the window. There is no rules. If they make it into the S&P index, it is game over for any short or for anyone who missed out. This is the time to buy. Could Palantir drop before the inclusion? Yeah, but it could also go up before the inclusion. The question is, do you want to gamble with a chance that you could make some serious profits? You could lose $3, $4 a share between now and June. Possible, but you could also lose out on the possibility of making $5 to $10 a share in a very short amount of time. The market is very volatile, so really you have to dollar cost average and make the best decision you can. And what I will tell you is that Palantir is doing a phenomenal job, exponential growth. The consumer side of the business is almost completely 50-50. Their year-over-year growth is incredibly good. They're lowering their expenses, raising their profits, their margins are going up, and they're acquiring more customers. Their current customers are spending 10% more annually year over year. And geopolitics, it doesn't matter for Palantir. If geopolitics gets really bad, they got the government contracts. If the geopolitics don't exist anymore, it kind of, mellows out, things go smooth. Then they've got the consumer side of the business. They've got the boot camps that are working phenomenally. And Alex Karp's a pretty smart guy, a little unhinged, but a lot of people like that. He thinks outside the box and he's all about defending the homeland. Palantir, in my opinion, right now is one of the best stocks you can buy. So to keep this in cliff notes, short and sweet, Palantir is getting included into the S&P index. Almost a guarantee. Well, nothing in life is guaranteed except taxes, but it is highly likely, like 99.9% this year they're going in, an 80% chance it's June. And because they weren't sure until they saw another earnings estimate, which Palantir gave them, the only thing that could potentially slow Palantir down and not allow them to get included in June and kind of delay that till September is the fact that analyst, whoever it was, raised the estimate by 400 million and it ended up becoming 4.71 billion instead of 4.68 billion, which Palantir reported, which I've done in other videos, and I'll put that link right there above me so you guys can see that video. But Palantir did beat their guidance from 4.66 to 4.68 billion. However, the one analyst who was anonymous and nobody knows who it is came up 3 days before, raised it by 400 million, which means technically Palantir missed on earnings. That right there might cause problems for the June inclusion. So the next earnings would then allow them to be included in September. So I stand by my previous statement. We're 80-20 June to September. Either way, it's going to happen because Palantir is a good stock and they're already eligible and they've been eligible, which is why it's likely that this is happening in June. So the real question here is, are you guys going to be okay with missing this opportunity? A lot of us probably missed the AMD opportunity last year, going from $90 to $170 this year. We've all missed the NVIDIA, or most of us probably have missed the NVIDIA train. So the question is, are you ready to miss on the Palantir train? If you're not already in, now is the time to buy because the biggest moves in Palantir are getting ready to happen with the inclusion into the S&P index. And that is almost 100% likely to happen, and it's 80% likely to happen next month. So time is running out and it's of the essence. Let's lock in our position to Palantir and ready to collect juicy profits from a stock that is going to be bound for greatness. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. I really appreciate you. If it's your first time here and you guys enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe, tap the bell. This way you guys know when I post new videos, and give me a thumbs up as it greatly helps the channel grow. Don't forget, guys, you can sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Link right there on the screen and in the information box below. Not only are you going to get news, tips, and strategies right to your email box, this video are going to get free trade alerts. Also, high five to everyone who's taken my trades. We've made bank on HIMS, Palantir, Rivian, SoFi, as well as Robinhood. So many great trades, and we've made a lot of money, as you guys can see there on the screen. Also want to point out that my full training course in Discord with very limited slots is going to be released next week. So if you guys want to get in on that, be sure to email me, Corey at investwithcorey.com, or you can sign up for the newsletter and respond to the auto reply that you get confirming that you signed up, and let me know you want to reserve your position, because after all slots are filled, it is going to be a while before more slots open up. So if you guys want to become profitable and learn everything that I've learned over the years to go from 13,000 to 7 figures in just over 4 years, I'm going to show you everything, start to finish, coaching, everything. So if you guys are interested, be sure to let me know. We'll see you guys on the next video, but don't worry, I know this video is over. I've got something I picked out just for you, how you can grow your portfolio from 5,000 to 100,000, and that video is right here. Click it. I'll see you guys over there. This video is just as good. Come on, click it. And remember, guys, let's grow our wealth together. Take care.